guys. So today we're going to be doing my February wrap-up. In February I didn't read as much as I had been, but that's okay. I still read quite a bit. And I took part in the February readathon. And so, let's get going. First book I'm going to mention is I read 10 Apples Up on Top to the Baby. So I counted that. 5 stars, I think. Was it 5 or was it 4? It doesn't really matter for that one. But then, I read that in the middle of reading a series, and I have thoughts. I have oh so many thoughts about Kaya. I wanted to like it. I remember I feel like I remember reading it as a kid and not hating it. And Kaya legit had one of the best games on the American Girl website back in the day when they had games. So it's not like I hate Kaya as a person. And I do feel like it's unfortunate that the only Native American girl is like this. But yeah, I hated it. This was a buddy read with Shannon, and she also did not like it. So, we just had fun. At least I had fun reading it with her, and both of us being like, ugh, what is this? So, basically, my main problem boils down to Kaya as a character. Kaya as a character is very selfish, and she, not just selfish, but she only focuses for the entire series on fixing her own particular problem that she kind of caused herself. So, spoilers for this series, in case you, for some reason, don't want it. Kaya, in book 1, wants to go off and do something. I think she wants to go off and race her horse, which she'd already also been told not to do. And so, but she's currently supposed to be in charge of her 2 little brothers. And so what does she do? She leaves her 2 little brothers with her blind adopted sister who can barely take care of them on her own because they're mischievous little boys and she's blind. And Kaya goes off to race her horse. I think it was race her horse. It's been a long time since I read this. And she gets a nickname from this of Magpie because her brothers, they're fine, but they almost get in severe danger. And she gets in trouble for this very badly, which she should. So the entire series, almost, her focus is on getting rid of this nickname Magpie. Not focusing on the fact that she almost got her brothers killed. That is never a part of her problem, is never with that aspect of it. Her problem is always with her stupid nickname and how she doesn't like people not thinking well of her. So that was book 1. Book 2, it gets even worse. Kaya, their village is raided on by other Native Americans, Indian, like a different tribe. And she and her sister she's told, take your sister and leave. Go with everyone else. What do you think she does? She goes after her horse to make sure her horse is okay. With her sister. She does bring her sister. But because they go after the horses, which, spoiler alert, guess what? Guess what? The raiding tribe probably is interested in your horses. That's probably one of the things that they're there to get. So she and her sister go toward the danger, and they are taken captive and enslaved. Then she escapes and leaves her sister behind, and her horse also. Her sister and her horse leave. Now, her sister tells her to leave her behind. Her sister does say, I won't be able to make it, you need to go. But I was just like, excuse me? And then in book 3, we meet another character who is Kaya's hero and stuff. And then she definitely gets the sword end of the stick in this series. She should have stuck around longer. Book 4, okay, book 4 I had problems with the message. So book 4, Kaya finds this dog out in the woods who's not part of their their tribe's group of dogs. And their tribe's pack. And this dog is pregnant, or has just had puppies. I promise you, I know what a dog makes and what a cat makes. Okay, so this dog has just had puppies, or something. Either pregnant or just had the puppies. And Kaya keeps, bringing food to the dog and trying to befriend the dog and bringing her brothers to see the dog. And all of her elders tell her, Kaya, maybe don't do that because we don't know what a stray dog is like. We can't trust this stray dog. She keeps doing it. And I kept expecting the dog to attack her or her brothers when she took her brothers. Because that is how a normal kid's book would go. The adults tell you something, you don't listen to the adults. Or even if the adults don't say don't do this, which I don't think they necessarily said that, but they thought she should stay away from the dog. Usually what the structure that should happen in a kid's book is adults tell you something, you keep doing it anyways, you get in trouble because the adults are wiser and know better. But no, instead the dog saves her brother's life. Which I'm like, that seems like the opposite of the message we should be presenting. And then, we finally get the sister back in book 3. By the way, this entire book, her nickname comes up. That nickname Magpie comes up in book 1. She gets the nickname in book 1. It comes up in book 2. It comes up in book 3. It comes up in book 4. And it comes up in book 5. Her sister gets as much, like, her worry about her sister gets the same amount of page time as her worry about her stupid nickname. I really got upset about this because her sister is a blind girl that she abandoned in the camp of their enemies. And she got her there, again, maybe Kaya escaping alone was the right thing to do, but she is the reason they were there in the first place. And then, see, Kaya's sister finally comes back, and Kaya's sister would have been much more interesting to have the story be about. Could we not have had the book be about her? Like, I would have much preferred that. Let's see. Oh yeah, and the sister, like, so, also, I feel like proper story mechanics should be, you cause a problem, you help fix it. But Kaya's sister is just, like, with another tribe that they're friendly with, like, they have rescued her in the interim. And it's like, Kaya should have had a hand in rescuing her sister, just, like, story basics here, I think. I think she should have had a hand in rescuing her sister. Maybe that's just me. And, but to me, it feels like it was just too easy. Like, there should have been a story about rescuing her sister, but instead, no, she's fine. And the conflict is that her sister has made a vow to herself that she will stay with this old woman who has been taking care of her and help her the rest of her life. Her sister has made this vow, and Kaya's selfish and, wants to keep her, by the way, this is her adopted sister. This isn't even her biological sister, just to be clear. So, like, yes, I don't know. But anyways, Kaya's like, I want her here with us, even though she thinks she should help this old woman who saved her life. Like, ugh. Kaya just bothered me as a character. Most of these books got 2 or 3 stars. Kaya book 6 finally got 4 stars because her sister is safe, and I don't think that the nickname had any real estate, because I never mentioned the nickname in my review, and I think the nickname was finally just not really thought of. Let's see. Yeah. So I did not think Kaya was a likable character. Like, at all. I'm just rereading all of my, oh, yeah, okay. Also, of course, as a Christian, Kaya, like, this is not a problem with literally any of the other American girls, and, see. Kaya definitely had some elements of Native American religion, but my problem with that is, like, that's realistic. If you're gonna set a story about Kaya, like, about Native Americans before the, like, if you want Kaya to be your first, before Felicity, then, yes, she has to be, like, following Native American religion. There is no alternative for that. Because missionaries really only started going out, as far as I'm aware, settlers and missionaries only started going, well, there were some Catholic missionaries, but the majority of the missionary effects to the natives, especially in her part of the world, I believe, would have been after, the American Revolution, because the British did not allow the Americans to colonize further west than the, Appalachian Mountains. I believe that's correct. So, I understand that. However, multiple times in this series, there was a confusing description of, like, their tribe's god. I don't remember what they called him, but their tribe's god. And it sounded a lot like the real God, like the true God. And obviously it wasn't, because they also had spirit guides or like animal spirit guides or something, and lots of other weird pagan religion things. But I just thought I didn't like the fact that you could be mistaken to think that Kaya's tribe is a Christian tribe, because they definitely weren't. So I think that more clarity on that, from my worldview would have been very nice. All right, now on to less of a ranty subject. Cornered by Lynette Eason, Lynn H. Blackburn, and Natalie Walters. This is a 3-novella collection. Let's see, these are all connected to some of their series. So the first one is In the Dark by Lynette Eason. I gave the whole collection 4 stars. I enjoyed them all. I had not yet read the series that Lynn H. Blackburn's was, but I also read that last month. And I promise you, I'm going to be much more positive the rest of this video. I had a good reading month, other than Kaya. I had a great reading month. So yeah, I enjoyed all of these. I will say for the Natalie Walters one, excuse me, this was about Kakoa's sister. Where was Kakoa? Why did he only show up in like 1 chapter? He was the best part of that original series. Why is he not in more of this book? He really should have been in more of it than he was. But yeah, just enjoyable suspense novellas. Alright, now we are going to talk about probably the highlight of my month. Okay, wait. First, I'm going to talk about another great one that I read last month, and I gave it 5 stars. I gave this one 5 stars. Dagger Sleep by Trisha Mingrink. Trisha Mingrink wrote another series that I really like, The Blades of Akhtar. You may have heard me talk about this ad nauseum, because I like it a lot. This is a retelling of Sleeping Beauty. It's gender flip retelling, so the prince is Sleeping Beauty. And, I really enjoyed this. See, I read this, obviously, for the Faebruary readathon. Damien was my favorite part. Rosanna was also good. And then I liked Alex's arc. And, I appreciated seeing that. This is also, the world building here is really interesting because it's partially Native Americans, partially, Appalachian culture. And then also there's castles and swords. So, not really sure what's going on with that. But, yeah, I really want to read the rest of the series. But, I read this due to it having been free on Kindle. And, I'm assuming books 2 and 3 probably won't show up as free. But if they do, you better believe I'm going to be grabbing them because I really want to read the rest of the series. Alright, now for my gush of the video. I read the first 4 books in the 4 Kingdoms series by Melanie Sellier. So that's The Princess Companion, The Princess Fugitive, The Princess Pact, and The Princess Game. These were great. These are all fairy tale retellings. So the first one is a retelling of Princess and the Pea. The second one is a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood. The third one, Rumpelstiltskin, and the fourth one was Sleeping Beauty. And these all were really interesting twists on the fairy tales. So they're set in this world where there are fairy godmothers, and book 2 basically lets you know that these fairy godmothers are almost more like angels, not quite, but similar. And so all of the magic that is done is connected to the godmothers, at least so far as I've gotten, and they are very clearly agents of God. Again, based on book 2. You read book 1 and you're like, what are you talking about? No, I promise you that it's there in book 2. I loved the allegory in book 2. It was beautiful. That scene was so good. Yes, I really love this. I don't know if I can tell you which one is my favorite. The first one was just really sweet. I really liked the first one. But I really liked all of them. They all got 5 stars. So, yeah, this was just a great series. The hype is real. If you have heard everybody hyping these books up, I know Celestria, Lindsay, Reese has talked about them before. A bunch of people on Booktube have read these. I am jumping on the bandwagon. Yes, read these. Book 5 is still a couple weeks out from my library, and I can't wait through Libby listening to the audiobooks. By the way, the audiobooks were great. Most of this reading was actually audiobooks, except for Kaya. Yeah, everything except for Kaya and Dagger's Sleep, I think, were audiobooks. No, one more. No, I did read that audiobook also, so yeah, just those two. Okay, I also read my favorite suspense book ever this month, and that was Never Fall Again by Lynn H. Blackburn. I really liked this. There wasn't a lot of suspense, admittedly, which is not ideal for a suspense book, but the romance was so precious in this. And I... Here, let me pull up my review. I don't know how coherent I was in my review, unfortunately. Hey, I was actually kind of coherent. Yay. Alright, so relationship was sweet. I loved how Landry and Cal took things slowly, but were still there for each other when it counted. I loved both of them as characters, too, and Eliza was so cute. And you know I'm a sucker for the man with the kid storyline. And, the Queen Clan was incredible, and the small town vibes, everything was just wonderful. I really, really loved this book, and I cannot wait for book 2. I think it comes out this month, so who knows when my library will get it, but when they get it, you better believe I am either borrowing it immediately or putting a hold on it, because, you know, unfortunately, things take a while sometimes. Okay, then I read A Heroine Called Rahab by Kenneth Winter. 3 stars. It was fine. It didn't whitewash Rahab's certain aspects of her character that lots of books like to whitewash. Lots and lots and lots of depravity. Like, awful stuff happens in this book. Sick, very sick stuff. Now, do I think Canaanite culture was probably like this? Yes. Yes, I do. So that's why I finished it, because I was like, well, and it wasn't detailed, but it was very, very just evil things happened. So, take that with a grain of salt, but it was fine. Didn't love it. Probably not my favorite Rahab retelling, definitely. I think it, yeah. Alright, then I read Children of the Shadows by Erica Vetch. Book 4 or 3 in the Throne Dragon Swan mystery series. I gave it 4 stars. Really fun plot. Love these characters and seeing their arcs come to an end, but I did get annoyed with them near the end, and I was also annoyed by the resolution of one of the plot lines. I did not go into detail in my Goodreads review. I think I'm going to mention it here because it annoyed me. So, spoilers. Is it more realistic for it to have ended up the way it did, with Daniel getting a different earldom rather than getting the one he was entitled to? Yes, it's probably more realistic. Did I care? No, I wanted Daniel to get the one he deserved. It just seemed wrong that, like, the ending was just, we'll just kind of compromise and make you both happy. Like, it just felt wrong. I did not like that ending. But again, it's probably more realistic. I just personally I like it when the good guys win, really. And it's not like the other guy was even that bad, but yeah, just not my fave. That's not my favorite thing, but I did love, what are their names? Daniel and Juliet. I love their relationship. They are precious, and I loved their plot lines throughout this. I loved the mystery about the children. I did love, like, the comeuppance that a certain character got. That was great. Loved that. He deserved it. Anyways, yes. Then I read A Noble Scheme by Rosanna M. White. Let's see. I gave this one 4 stars. I cried in this book, so, you know, it deserved at least 4. Okay, so spoilers for this book, but you need to know this, I think, if you're going to read it, because, it's very important to the plot, and I feel like there could be some people who, who would not want to read this. There is a very vivid flashback that includes the death of a baby. As someone who has had a miscarriage, it made me cry in a good way. Like, it made me think of my baby, whom I miss. And, like, it wasn't, I think it was handled well, but it was very heartbreaking. So if you have other issues, if you don't want to read about that because of your own personal issues or whatever with that in the past, maybe don't pick up this one. And the first book was very lighthearted, so, like, this being such a huge part of this book was a little jarring almost. I don't know. But also, my main problem with this, though, was not actually that. Like, that was not a problem for me. Again, I thought it was handled tastefully. It was really good, actually. My main problem with this was Gemma. So, Gemma and Graham in this book, he is angry at God. He believes that God is still there, but he, he still believes in God, but he does not think God loves him. Gemma is just angry and bitter the entire book, and yet she is the one who is still claiming to be a Christian and still claiming to be following God and trying to do what's right. But she is angry and bitter the entire book until, well, not the entire book, but until like 50% of the way through, at least. And he is not. Like, he is kind and patient with her and everybody, really, and gentle. And, like, I'm like, why is he acting more Christian than you are? He's the one who's mad at God. You're the one who's mad at, I don't know. It just, I did not like that part of it. All right. Then, finally, I read The Grey Woman and Other Tales by Elizabeth Gaskell. Since there was such a variety of short stories in this one, you know, some good, some not so good. That's just how short story collections go. Grey Woman was really good, the first one. And then the next one was interesting. I can't say I remember everything about these. I did read them through the help of an AI audiobook, which I have never listened to before. I never will again if I have the opportunity not to. It's really weird sometimes. But one of them was very long, and I just needed help to get through it, and I found one on YouTube for free, and I was like, okay, fine. So, I participated in the Faebruary readathon. My bingo board is on my phone, so I don't have that in front of me, but here we go. I'll pop it up on screen, so you can look. I completed all the prompts, so I don't remember what that makes me, but I won. I blacked it out, so yay. I will link all the February hosts down below as well. There's a bunch of them. Taylor is the main one with Tales and Treats with Tay. See, but yeah, I will link them all down below. I also, for my yearly reading challenge, I have bunches of them. So the first one for mine, I read Dagger's Sleep for my Christian Fantasy Challenge, and I filled in the prompt of retelling. See if I can get to these challenges and remember what I did. Okay, for Anne's Reading the Classics Challenge, I did The Grey Woman. That's why I read that for the Gothic prompt. For Oshina's Christian Romance Challenge, I want to say I filled in a series with Dagger's Sleep. Maybe. For the Princess Brideathon, I used Cornered for something. And I used... I think I used Princess Fugitive for Red on the Cover. And I used Cornered for something, but I do not remember what it was right now. Here, let me pull it up and see if I can tell by her bingo board which one I used it for. Let's see. Which other spot did I fill in? Oh, Hot New Release. That was it. Hot New Release, because Cornered came out very recently. Alright, then for the Read Your Bookshelf Challenge, what was it? Time is this month. Last month it was... No, was last month? Last month it was Size. I think I counted a heroine called Rahab for that because it was really short. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Alright, I did mine. For Jeanette's... Ooh. What's February? February is favorite author. Oh, what did I put for my favorite author? What did I read for my favorite author? Did I read anything for my favorite author this month? I know I did. Let me see what I read and see if I can remember what I put there. Filled it in a while ago, so... Maybe I put... Okay, if I didn't fill anything in, I will put Children of the Shadows there. I may have put Never Fall Again because I really like Lynn H. Blackburn, and I may have put Cornered because those are 3 of my favorite suspense authors. I probably put one of the suspense ones because Jeanette likes suspense. I think I remembered thinking, oh, I'll do one of the suspense ones because I know she's a big fan of suspense. Okay, for Amanda's. Okay, for Cats, I'll go ahead and say Cats. Cats, it was a heroine called Rahab. Obviously. February, Sweetest Southern Tea, a book with sweet food or drink. I don't remember what had food or drink. Wow, I cannot remember what I put for that one. Okay, I'm just going to stop the recording and then pop back in and tell y'all the answers to the ones that I don't remember. So, Jeanette's and Amanda's. Okay, so yes, Jeanette's I put Never Fall Again for the favorite author prompt. And then for Amanda's, I also put Never Fall Again. I forgot about this. There was a Halloween scene in Never Fall Again, which I gave a book 5 stars that has a Halloween scene in it. Like, I don't like Halloween. So, you know, this was a good book. But anyway, I think that is everything. Yeah, I think that's all. So, I hope y'all had a great reading month. What was your favorite book you read this month? Mine was probably going to be, I'm just going to say the whole Melanie Cellier series. Cellier, however you say her name. And that entire series is my answer. Yeah. Looking at my breeds again. Yeah. I liked Dagger's Sleep very well, or quite a bit, and I liked Never Fall Again, but the Melanie Cellier series was top tier. Alright. Let me know what your favorite read of the month was. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.